Good evening and welcome to the Accendo Traders Group. This is our video trade plan for Tuesday, May 20th, 2008. AccendoTraders.com, effective trade plans delivered daily. And each day we go through our routines to help prepare ourselves for the day. And as always, we want to make sure that we can have a life and spend time with our family. So today in the market, we started off with some of the Microsoft Yahoo news back in the market again. Now it's not about acquiring Yahoo. Let's just have a transaction. We'll see how that goes. A lot of the brokerages had their second quarter estimates cut. 5 of the 10 sectors in the positive. The Dow was up 4-1, but remember the Dow was up triple digits, and we'll try to show that intraday charts when we get to our stock charts. And on the earnings front, Lowe's tops earnings, but they had a cautious outlook. And at the end of the day, we had a tech sell, and part of that had to do with some of the disappointing outlook that SanDisk gave. And after the market closed, we had dry shipping beat expectations. Upgrades, we had some railroads, UNP, Yahoo, and then downgrades, we had Garmin and a couple of our split plays there, BC and JoyYG. So tomorrow we have the inflation data with core PPI and PPI. We have Home Depot and Target before the market and Hewlett-Packard after the bell. And we have these split plays that we've been watching. And remember, I just want to say this real quickly, is that on our split plays, remember CLF went up $95. So not to say that every split play works, but it is something, and there is a reason why we actually show this each night. So let's go ahead and take a look at our flag list. Okay, as we look at our flag list, I think what's important to notice here is what we talked about yesterday, and that is under the hood, things aren't as pretty as they are on top of the hood. And we can see the NASDAQ here is slowing at resistance. Here's the Dow Jones, kind of showing a double top here. And look, we can look here and see that the last time we had this push down, the market went down. So that's certainly not positive. And same thing here with the S&P 500. Although we're staying over 1400, certainly look at the indecision. More importantly, that the bears came in and pushed the stock down. If we change our template, and you can see here again the NASDAQ showing just a little weakness. We broke up and now we're falling back, closing at the 200. And remember yesterday we talked about the shadow trader mentioned it, and we're agreeing that the 200 can be a magnet. So the same thing, we broke through and now we're back here at the 200. Same thing here on the NASDAQ, on the S&P 500. The other thing I want to point out though that's important is, look here, as we're going up, you can see that stochastic is going up with it. And going up with it. But now you can see as we're making this next push higher, the indicators are not doing the same thing. We're actually getting a divergence again here. Go back over here to the Dow. It's even more prominent here. As the market is going back up, we're seeing a lower high here on some of the indicators. Again, that is divergence, showing that doesn't mean that tomorrow, doesn't mean that necessarily this week, but it is showing that there is some weakness potentially, and that we possibly could be heading lower. Not predicting that. Again, we want to be able to trade the market no matter which way that it goes. With our stocks, you can see Apple. Now Apple has finally broken through our moving averages here. On good volume. So at this point, we are going to take it off our bullish list. We may bring it back and see if we want to play the break of the 20, but we really want to see the market tell us something. And right now, the market is telling us it doesn't know what it wants to do. ACI, commodities took a hit today. This was one of the things briefing said that, this is where profit taking really occurred. So you can see that we did break through this rectangle, we came back. But because it's still, the moving averages are still okay, I'm going to leave ACI as flag. APA, I hate to be someone up here if this market's going down. Morning Star, Evening Star. I'm going to let this one go for right now and see what happens. Let it come closer over to the moving averages before we get in. CHK, this is still intact. Sort of a doji here at the resistance level. I still think we have a play here around $60. So I'm going to leave this one flagged. CHK I think is still in play. DVN, we almost have a triple top here on DVN. Volume's okay. It's one of those things where if you think energy is going to be okay, keep it flagged. So I'm going to keep it flagged for right now. EOG, kind of the same thing, although the indicators are rolling over a little bit here, but the uptrend is still intact. So I'm going to give this one more day. FCX broke out, stayed closed above it. Don't like this wick at all. I'm going to unflag it because of the wick. Fizzler broke down like Apple, but we still have our wedge play here going. So we need to keep this flag, but I am not recommending an entry tomorrow at all. Our put plays are working out. We were talking about going from on ICE down to the 50. Now I think our alert should be at the 50 for a break and a push lower. NBR still moving along, kind of like FCX here. I'm going to unflag it for right now. And this is a reason to go to iTunes because, again, it has the any revisions that I make or anything that catches my eye. PCU failure here. You can now just say PCU is basically in a sort of a consolidation going on like this. So I'm going to unflag that. And RIM, going to unflag it for now. USO, looks like we got a nice breakout potential coming out here tomorrow. But the wicks, tweezer tops also, and XTO also looks okay. Okay, now we're ready to begin the education portion of our video. Trading in the Zone is the book by Mark Douglas. And woohoo, we finally finished chapter 1, and now we're on to chapter 2, the lore of trading. And I'm sure we all can draw back to the times when we, what attracted us to trading, the freedom, the control your hours, and we're going to make lots of money. I remember, the Invest Tools seminar that I went to. I remember the Better Trade seminar I went to, watching the Wise Trade. And, heck, even with real estate, I was a realtor for about 5 years. And, and there's culture sheets, and I had 7 properties up in Pittsburgh, and reading the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, and I read them all, which is interesting because originally he's kind of more real estate than investing. He's kind of changed a little bit since then. And, I have Cash Flow 101 and 102, and I even started a group up in D.C., the Metro D.C. Cash Flow group. I started that. It still to this day has over 500 members. We had more than that at one point in time. Getting together, playing the game, trying to become financially illiterate. That is the one thing I took out of the Rich Dad Poor Dad series is that we have to become financially literate. And so that was a lot of fun. And heck, I remember even back in '99 when I first started teaching in Fairfax County outside DC, and I was in these stock groups, penny stocks, internet plays, IP Jimmy, Ski Trade, all these guys, and the pump and dump days. It made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. And the key there was that I had no clue what I was doing. IP Jimmy said buy it, and I bought it. Ski Trade said buy it, and I bought it. So a lot of times I held on too long because nobody ever said when to sell it. But those who remember the pump and dump days. And so the point is that, a lot of us have accepted the lore of trading, and we have, want to control hours and make all this money. But Mark goes on to say that, yeah, this freedom is great, but that doesn't mean that we have the psychological resource to operate in this environment. Doesn't mean that we have the physical resources. It doesn't mean that we have the income. All you need is, 2,000 at this brokerage, 3,000 at brokerage, and, trade and lose all your money. Many of us have done that. I was on Yahoo Answers looking at some things, and the lady said, I've got $15,000. What should I buy? Another guy was like, what stocks to buy? What? And nobody's saying, what should I learn? And I'm in that group. I remember again when I started this Yahoo group with the Qs, and Jazzy Trader came along, and she said, let's learn about trade plans. And we were like, oh, yeah, that's great. But how do I make money? And she's like, I'm going to tell you how to do it. But how do I make money? Oh, well, first you got to look at your chart patterns. I had chart patterns, but how do I make money? So, as we talk about the lower trading, we have to make sure that we accept the lower and we welcome the lower, but we make sure that we have the right resources in place so that we can be successful. Podcast version, it has the most, some exclusive segments are on there that are not on YouTube because of the time constraints. Continue to give us feedback, and next week we'll be posting more on the blog. We got the trade plan information up there. We're getting ready to get into our technical indicators. As always, trade at your own risk, and I will see you guys tomorrow.